The biggest gaming controversy of 2023 has got to be Hogwarts Legacy. People are actually debating whether you should buy the game, whether it is ethical to boycott it. People discussing if you are evil for even playing the game or streaming it or reviewing it. And I find this conversation to honestly be very fascinating. I don't think I've seen a game that's just so immediately hated and so immediately loved at launch ever before. But I want to talk about it because actually it's broken a bunch more records with most concurrent players, and now Wired.com just posted a 1 out of 10 review. They're actually trying to Metacritic review bomb it of sorts. But let's take a look at that. What's up, gamers? DreamcastGuy here. Hi, hope you're having a great day. If you could like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. Now, I want to start things off by just taking a look at the objective numbers that, unfortunately, if you are the people that were trying to boycott this game, to sink it, to make sure it goes down in flames, those people have failed. It looks like Hogwarts Legacy early access just on its own. Technically, the game comes out today, but, I mean, it's shocking to say this, but there was like an expensive early access version. It is already the most played game ever on Steam. It's kind of insane. It has 474,000 concurrent players. I also saw some other numbers. It is now the most streamed game of all time. On its early access day, which was Tuesday, it had 1.2 million concurrent viewers on Twitch. This thing is a mega hit. Now, I do want to say I am totally fine with people trying to boycott stuff. I'm a big advocate of vote with your wallet. If you want to buy something, if you want to trash something, totally feel free to do it. In fact, it was a very small group, but I did see some people calling for a boycott for Metroid Prime Remastered, specifically because I saw people saying that they didn't like how much Nintendo seems to rely on nostalgia for profit. And while that was obviously a very tiny demographic, I still think it's interesting that people can voice their opinions. But I do think this is a bit too far. So Wired.com is still one of the biggest tech magazines on the entire planet. They do very big, very important think pieces and reviews and, of course, technical breakdowns. So they just released a review that is a 1 out of 10. It's kind of insane. Wired and tired. The Wired, it helped me say goodbye to the setting for good, basically saying the Harry Potter universe is dead to them. Tired. The story is full of anti-Semitic tropes, the gameplay feels dated, the graphics feel like they're a couple generations behind, all the characters are one-dimensional, it doesn't stay true to the established lore, every character feels like an off-brand version of the characters we know and love, there's no sense of place, no heart, no magic. Wow. So, I decided to read this entire review because I review a lot of games myself. My reviews have sometimes even gone viral and got on trending and stuff. I think the art of review is very interesting because I feel like reviewing a game does come down to reflecting upon it. It's beating a game, it's finishing side quests, it's figuring out, though, objectively as best you can, the good, the bad, and the ugly. My fundamental issue with this review itself, though, is not the opinions stated. It's the fact that I feel like it is just generally not objective. And most importantly, it's very little about the game itself. I mean, I completely went through every single word of this, and 95% is about the author's personal journey going through the Harry Potter books growing up and their disagreements with the author, J.K. Rowling. Now, some people in the comment section get mad when I point this out, but J.K. Rowling has said some really toxic stuff that has pissed off a lot of people. You know what? You can love that, you can hate that, you can agree with her or disagree with her. Some people, though, are trying to claim that J.K. Rowling isn't a controversial figure when she definitely is. But like, I guess the weird part of this is this author making a 6,000 word essay about how they hate J.K. Rowling. You're totally free to do that. I guess my major problem with this is that this is a scored and rated review. If I were in this place, if I was in these shoes where I was trying to review Hogwarts Legacy, I would either disclose and say, hey, I'm making this an unscored review because I just have too much baggage against the universe, which I feel like is totally fine, or I would just focus on the game itself. I've certainly played and reviewed games from studios or companies or specific people that I vehemently disagreed with, but I try my best to just be objective, to focus on the game itself. Is it worth $60 or $70? I mean, that's always my biggest objective is, okay, if you're playing this game, is it worth your cost and is it worth your time? And my biggest issue is that even if you do think this review is very eloquently written for its poetic, essay it's trying to be, I still think it does not inform you whether you should buy the game or not. And I mean, already people are completely bombing it. People are saying this article reads like a parody. Unfollow. This is nonsense. Not a review. It is an opinion piece at best. That's kind of my thing. Is that I agree with the fact that this is mostly just an opinion piece, which again, I'm okay with, but treating it as a review is just fundamentally incorrect. I've even seen people pointing out the fact that giving it a 1 out of 10 shows why WB, the publishers of the game, were trying to be careful with who got a copy. And Mighty Keef here brings up a point actually that to me kind of strikes my eye. This is messed up. Because of stuff like this, we might see a trend of more selective review codes. Right now, if you are a YouTuber or something like in my position, it is difficult to build up that trust with companies to say, hey, I am somebody that is going to give an unbiased review. In my experience, companies don't really care if your video is going to be positive or negative. They just want it to be honest. A lot of times, if a company is about to release a bad game, they know it. I mean, they're playing it, they're testing it, they understand what's functional, what's great. I mean, the PR people definitely have been playing it for months. If there's a cringy plot twist or a very annoying side character, they already understand that they're going to have a difficult sell. Most companies genuinely do not care if you give their game a low score as long as they feel like it honestly fits the product they're releasing. This kind of stuff, I do feel like kind of signals that maybe less reviews is better. Maybe they're going to give out less codes, less people actually getting a chance to experience these games and properly put out content. I don't know. Obviously, I am biased. I like reviewing games. It's my favorite thing to do. I can't believe it actually pays my freaking bills. So whenever I see a reviewer kind of just skew ultra negative or ultra positive to the point at which it just looks funky, I mean, that stuff kind of confuses me a bit. I will say there are definitely objective complaints about the game. I have heard people saying that they don't like, some of my friends that are playing it actually say the game itself looks apparently like freaking fantastic. I've heard that gameplay every like 4 or 5 hours when you start to unlock more ability, apparently the game is actually fun as hell to play. I have heard though that there is some technical PC problems. Apparently, people have actually been tweeting me about it. Apparently, there's hard crashing problems and there's lots of frame stutters, but that is apparently being fixed. If the reviewer, though, said, hey, this game is glitchy, hey, I think the story sucks, hey, I have problems with the universe and it has technical problems, I'm giving it a 6 out of 10, I guess I would be more open-minded to that because, okay, yeah, you're skewing a little bit darker and more negative than the other reviewers, but clearly it's your actual unbiased opinion, as best can be done. But when you give it a 1 out of 10, it's so outlandishly low that it's like difficult to believe anything that author does from now on. This game has just gotten to become such a dumpster fire where people just have to defend it or have to attack it incessantly, constantly. I've even seen stuff like, apparently one of the major guys over at Digital Foundry has said that he just hates Harry Potter, John Lineman, and he has some tweets that people got really pissed at where he said straight up, even though he is the expert of technical analysis, he said, hey, I'm not going to be talking about Hogwarts Legacy. Maybe somebody else at Digital Foundry is going to, but he just said straight up, look, I hate Harry Potter. Screw it. I don't want to do anything. So, but people got mad at him. People are actually mad at him for just not wanting to cover Hogwarts Legacy. Oops, I got a phone call right as this video was ending. But hi, thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a big ol' thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe if you haven't already. And please keep dreaming. Oh man, what a mess. Okay, back to eating my breakfast yogurt. It has been a morning. I am very tired. I was up till 4 a.m.